So obviously we put a tweet out earlier. This is going to be a new segment that we do, and it's called. We're going to call it Twitter Reacts, obviously, and we can change the name because everyone has Twitter Reacts and loads of stuff as well. We put out a tweet earlier saying, "Send us your thoughts of yesterday's poor showing below," and we've had a few responses. So thank you to you guys for all sending in responses, and we're going to go through a few of them now. One of them I want to look at is. We'll start with something a bit more light-hearted. It is taking the piss out of us, but it's quite a good one. It comes in from Pele Bertie, and it says, Huddersfield, crying. Man City, hey, what is it? Huddersfield, Chelsea beat us 5-0. Man City, hold my beer. That's one we'll start with, and we'll just leave it at that. But we got one here from Peter Fabry, says, overpaid bunch of fuckers. Gary Lee says, utter shite.
Yep.
Father CFC 216 says, too many pussies, but we still keep them. It's like being in a relationship and you just carry on for the sake of the kids. Wow. I mean, yeah.
Jeez.
It's a start, but I mean, this is another one here. It's literally the same stuff. Lost for words, to be honest. Losing 4-0 to Bournemouth is utter crap. Losing 6-0 to City is beyond unacceptable. Don't know what to say anymore. And then we'll go into this one, which is something which we love talking about, especially me, because apparently I have an agenda, even though I don't.
Is this Jorginho by chance?
It is Jorginho! Wish Jorginho was more physical. I'm sorry. When I say adapt, for example, under sorry, you know what Terry's saying about playing Kante deeper as a DM, blah, 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 stuff. People saying it's your dial, all of that. I'm not saying move Jorginho forward. I'm saying adapt the system to what we have, because like in life in general, it is adapt or die.
Yeah.
And if you don't agree with me, I don't really give a shit. I personally would like to see a 4-2-3-1. Maybe. Just attempt it. Have a look at it. I'd like to see Jorginho and Kante sitting together. Kante has adapted fantastically to his position. I'm not saying he's playing badly. I think Kante has been absolutely superb. But
you need to give cover for Jorginho. You need to cover for his weaknesses.
Exactly. And Jorginho's weaknesses are literally having the no-touch policy in a strip club when he's tackling and defending. Yesterday, the first couple of goals, you look at the corners of the boxes. I haven't really watched it. I don't particularly plan to, but from what I saw, you saw Jorginho come to the edge of the box, marking Kevin De Bruyne on 2 occasions. Both times, he let him go past him. He just stroked him, basically. He turned round, De Bruyne's gone, moved the ball, Aguero's in. That was the 2-0. That was how the 2-0 happened, in my opinion. Players not keeping track of players, and obviously there was other players as well that weren't doing that. But for me, Jorginho was a player I focused on the edge of that box because I wanted to see how he was dealing with the pressure. He can't cope with it. That's my opinion anyway. And I just feel that there's so much more that could be done. And I just think maybe if he had some cover, who knows? We could give that a go. But that's the nature of the beast, unfortunately. CFC Sports says, what does everyone think? Why does everyone think Ruben Loftus-Cheek got Ampadu as the proper reason to get top 4? Last goal was a Loftus-Cheek mistake. Very simple. I don't think they're the reason to get top 4. I think it'd be nice to blood them.
Yeah.
I don't really know why he's saying that one mistake as a reason to not start him.
I
thought Loftus-Cheek offered quite a bit when he came on. He was driving down into Man City's half on multiple occasions.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I get his point though in terms of and this comes down to the issue of not having the squad, where for us to get top 4, we're relying on players that have either barely featured, i.e. Ampadu, or are featuring, but have never been in a situation where they have to contend for top 4. They've never been in a top 4 club, effectively. And I do think that is a bit of a worry. But again, that just comes down to squad and not getting players in.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's just a mentality issue.
I think there's so much more. Like we said, we've already addressed. There's so much to it. There's one I just saw here, which will be the last one we do, because we've got a couple of other bits we want to get on and touch on this live stream as well. Where is it? I've lost it. It's gone. There it is. I think that Sarri has to take some of the blame, but we have not addressed issues when we have won. Conte wanted to flip his title-winning side. He relies on managers pulling off masterful jobs and winning trophies, and that's cool. We don't always look to get better. That comes in from Jared Andre 3, and I agree. Now this is again, I'm going to go back to Conte. Now, Antonio Conte, in the end, it was right to sack him. It was toxic. He wasn't happy. Stuff wasn't working out, and for the betterment of everybody, rather than shifting on 7, 8, 9 players, which we might not have been able to do, and obviously the way we run our transfer policy, we couldn't have replaced them with who he wanted, and all of that stuff. And it was better to get rid of one man rather than them. This issue for me lies in the fact that we've already addressed. Let's be honest. This side that won the league. This is the players we have now. Won the league 2-3 years ago. Okay. Realistically, though, let's be honest. That league title was a fluke. Now, I'm not saying we weren't the best team that season. We were amazing that season. We played some great football, but it was down to the tactics of the manager. That's what I think. I think he used what he had and he fitted square pegs in square holes.
I do think to an extent, I agree with you, but I'd say it more as I think because Conte revolutionised English football to an extent with how he did with the 3-4-3. That's what got us there. Add to the fact that because we didn't have Champions League football, we had so many free midweeks. Those little things as well, they do come up to it. But I'll also say, you don't win a league title by fluke.
No. You know what I mean? I don't mean by fluke. I'm not sitting there saying, I'm not being that geezer who called in during the FA Cups Man United game last year saying when Chelsea win the league, it's a massive fluke. That season we were the best in the league. That's because we revolutionised the system. That's because we played with the tactics 3-4-3, which no one hadn't said to him for years. No one could counter it. And he did what he needed to do with the tactics. It worked out. We lost 3-0 to Arsenal when we were playing Chelsea system. He said, we're going to do it my way now. He went and did it. Fantastic. We won the league. Superb. Thing we didn't do, in my opinion, with what was probably the third or fourth, maybe even fifth best squad on paper in the league that year, when we won it, we didn't go, oh my God, you've won us the Premier League. Right.
What do you want?
What do you want? And this is it. And this is where it goes wrong. He's there going, right, I want this one. I want to keep Matic. I want to bring in this player. I want to bring Alexandro. I want to bring in Lukaku. I want to do this. I want to do that. We moved too slow on Lukaku. We only put a bid in after Man United do it. After that, when they know that we've registered an interest. We sell Nemanja Matic and we replace him with Bakayoko, which on paper everyone thought was a great move. Again, Louis Beneventi was right, saying...
I thought Matic should have stayed as depth.
I thought Matic should have stayed as depth. We've got rid of Nathaniel Chalobah as well, which was another player, which was good for depth the season we won the league. Again, another player I said, why did we get rid of him? He's better than Timo Bakayoko. Again, I was right. But it's kind of a case of you've got... We didn't go in and reinvest, and you've already brought the point up. Drinkwater, Morata, who else? Bakayoko, we've already said that window. We've invested in players that didn't improve the squad.
Zappacosta came in that year, didn't he?
Zappacosta as well.
Emerson came in that year, but I think he's been the one exception.
Giroud came in January.
Yeah.
Barkley
came in January.
He was the year before, but was injured, so he didn't play till that season.
We brought him in January for 15 mil.
Yeah.
That's why we...
No, we were going to get him, but then I don't remember why, but it fell through.
It was January. He didn't want to go. He wanted to.
I remember his first game was an FA Cup game or a cup game, and he was dreadful.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. It was Arsenal. But yeah, there's so much more that was there, and you know, we don't back our managers, and I think this is a time where we need to turn around, and the board need to reinvigorate themselves. They need to back a manager. Again, why Fergie was so successful. If you didn't want to press someone from the press in the press conferences, you go in. Who's he? Yeah, he's a twat. Get him out. He'd then score up to him outside if they were there again, on saying stuff about his players. Players didn't perform. I mean, sorry, he does it. He yells at him in the dressing room. Goes, right, you've done this wrong, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's yelling at him and wagging a finger, and there's kicking a boot at David Beckham's head. Because let's be honest, if it was me personally in that dressing room yesterday, I understand players need a bit more of an arm around them, and you'd say that. If you're 4-0 down, 3-4-0 down, at half-time, to the champions, when you beat them 2-0 at home, there wouldn't have been boots flying. There would have been food. There would have been all their shit. Everything would be flying at them because there's a lack of leadership for me, in my opinion, from that perspective. But I mean, I don't know.
No. I was just gonna build on that and go back to the point I was saying about how the older team would have been going at each other.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like there's. I feel Sarri is. But in terms of players, I don't really know who's doing it.
There's a couple. I feel like Rudiger is. If you listen to some of his interviews and some of his comments, like after the Bournemouth game, he's one of those players I can see who goes into the players.
And we'll insert Lewis's clip obviously in here at some point, because obviously Lewis.
Azpia, feel like is another one. He seems like a leader. He seems like he cares. David Luiz at times feel like he cares. But apart from those three, there aren't many.
Hazard's a player that leads by example.
Yeah, he will lead by example on the pitch. I feel off the pitch, not so much.
Yeah, and I mean, and this is it. But I mean, there's so much more for us to talk about and go through. But obviously, we're going to be doing this every week. Twitter Reacts. So obviously, make sure you get your comments in after the next game as well.